Hello and Selamat Pagi. Welcome to askLRR. It's the Ask Loading Ready Run podcast that you, the backers of our YouTube memberships, get to submit questions for. So we want to thank you for that. I'm Beej, hosting today. Also with me is...
I'm Adam.
And also...
Matt.
So you've got the three of us today. You've submitted some questions for us. You already knew that because I believe we already worked all that out. So thank you to the backers of our YouTube memberships. We appreciate you and your questions. And also thanks to just everyone in general, on the people who back us on Twitch and also people who back us on Patreon. And I want to put out a PSA that if you are backing us on Patreon at the $10 or above level, the mailouts are going out imminently, like under a week. So please go update your mailing address so that we don't get bounce backs, that you get your thing in the mail. You're going to get a thank you card from us.
As far as I know, people like getting stuff.
Yeah.
I assume you, as supporters of us, like getting stuff. So let us get you that stuff.
Yeah. That's all we ask. Mm-hmm. So let's dive right in and start, because I think that's what we're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Daybreak King asks, what are your favorite types of cake?
I'm not really like a cake person.
Are you saying that pie is better?
I guess, yeah.
If you were made to eat a cake.
If you like held a gun to my head,
well,
or
if it's like
eat the cake. You know,
if it was like
an icing gun to your head.
Okay, so it's your birthday.
Yeah.
And then everyone shows up with a cake but didn't ask you.
Oh, okay.
What would you hope that cake would be?
Ice cream cake?
Oh, perfect. Good. Right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think that's like the best cake, right? It's got to be.
I have a hard time with it because it's slightly lactose intolerant.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
But only a touch.
But I love, like, ice cream cake's so good. Mm-hmm. But there's something about the Dairy Queen ice cream that causes me distress sometimes.
I think you're not alone in that. Yeah.
It's probably because it's bad ice cream, Beej.
My jam is Black Forest cake.
Oh, yeah.
That
actually,
seems to
red
be
velvet
the safe
cake's
one.
pretty good,
Oh,
now that
yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
All right.
You love that beet juice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Is that how it's made?
That's how they make it red.
I had no idea.
Yeah, beet juice. I found out this fact about myself in the last, 2 years. I thought I preferred pie over cake. Turns out I prefer over both of them crumbles. Crumbles are just better.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a cake, right? It's cake adjacent.
Yeah.
Cake adjacent.
Cake adjacent, yeah.
So your favorite type of cake is a crumble?
Yeah.
Okay, your favorite type of cake was ice cream.
Yeah. Sorry to totally derail this conversation already, but this is okay. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, do it.
Beej, can I tell this story, the Road Quest story?
Yeah.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I forget.
Okay, so, because Matt said beet juice. And
go ahead.
so this was like halfway through Road Quest, and Beej and I it was the end of a long day of filming. It was like late at night, and we were sitting, Beej, I was playing my Switch, Beej was looking at something on his phone, and Beej gets up.
What were you playing, though?
It's
very important detail.
What's the name of the Mario game?
Odyssey.
I was
the
playing
Mario
Mario
game,
Odyssey.
yeah.
And then, so Beej gets up and goes to the washroom, and then he finishes, and he's getting out, and he's like, "Whew, I don't feel well." Or so, he says something to that effect, and I was like, I didn't even say anything. I was just sitting there quiet, and I was like, "Yep." And then we're quiet for like another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And like we're just chilling, and then all of a sudden, Beej goes, "I had beets." That's what it was.
I've had that experience once or twice before.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, because it was 15 minutes of silence. Yeah. We didn't talk to each other, didn't say a word.
Didn't say a word, dude. Because I didn't even ask if Beej was okay. He was like, "I don't feel so well," and I was just like, "Yep, cool, man. You do you. You're not dead." So
standard practice for Beej.
Yeah. But that's just All
Funny thing is, I don't even remember eating beets on Road Quest now. Like, that's the thing. I know that I must have.
We must have,
but I don't remember.
You remember eating the beets.
You're alive still. So.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Next question. Ooh, what one thing do you wish people enjoyed as much as you do?
This is a very hard question.
Thank you, Aiko and Mog. All right. What do you think?
I was ruminating over this one for like a full week. And I'm like, I guess the music I like, even though it's like pop music, like my favorite musical artist is Florence and the Machine.
Okay.
Not an unknown name.
No.
But some people don't like her as much as I'd like them to like her, so that we can both like her.
So that you don't have to
together.
feel like you're being judged every time you mention how much you like something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
What about you two?
Anime in general. Like, that's really the thing.
Yeah.
But I've gotten used to the fact that people are like, oh, anime is the worst. And I'm like, I know you say that.
I think that perception is slowly. It feels like it's slowly going away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I think it's still unfairly. That's the one thing I hate is when people are like, fucking weebs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
like,
thing you hate.
The thing,
or the thing that you like sucks.
Yeah, it's like, stop it. First of all, if you're one of those people, stop it.
Yeah.
Second of all, I think it's getting better, but there's still a long way to go in that people just letting people enjoy their hobbies.
Yeah.
Right. I'm lucky because like I have a platform with the things that I love. I just have a platform where I get to talk about them.
Yeah.
And so it's like always encouraged. Right. So there's
yeah,
nothing that really like I wish people, because I'd like for Sidewalk Slam, it's like I get to talk about wrestling, which I love. And then, you know, I stream. So it's like I like video games. So I get to talk about it there.
Yeah.
So there's nothing really that I'm thinking about that I'm like, man, I wish people like this as much as I did. I love getting like, I'm one of those people, I have a very addictive personality.
Oh, yeah.
So when I get into like a video game, I'm like, yeah, all I want to do is just play this fucking video game.
You're a man
and
of extremes.
I want to find another degenerate to play this game with me as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like right now, it's World of Warcraft.
Okay.
I'm digging it, man. I'm having a lot of fun playing it, and like, there's all this stuff you can do, but you need group, like you need like it's like a social thing.
Yeah.
You need people to do it with,
You need
and I'm just
raids.
trying to find 4 other degenerates who will just like do this stuff with me for hours, and I'm just like, yep, let's do it. Yeah. So that's like my main weakness is like a person is like when I get into something, it's like I'm all in.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a weakness, but I just think that maybe it's a bit too far. Like
It's,
you know
it's
what I
just
mean?
like hyper focus.
Yeah, I get hyper focused.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is all I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you're having fun and it's not getting in the way of the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So what you would what you're like, the one thing you wish people would enjoy is the one thing you're into this month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I'm a fickle creature, Beej.
Yeah. All right, next question. All of you have slowly increased your involvement with LRR over time. What was that transition like? How closely are each of your livelihoods tied to LRR? Was or is there a period of massive financial uncertainty for you? What do you do in addition to LRR for a living? Thank you, Brian Apley.
This is a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a lot of heavy lifting.
I'm wondering why we didn't break this up into a couple smaller questions now.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say, so I'll start and I'll go as fast as I can.
Yep.
How closely is my livelihood tied to LRR? 100%. I'm working here full time.
Yeah.
Was there a period of massive financial uncertainty for you? All the time. Let's be honest.
Oh, man. I'm
In
always
this
stressed.
economy?
Yeah. Also, Heather and I just bought a condo.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so now we definitely need to keep working forever because we need to be able to pay this freaking thing off, right? But at least we know we can't get like evicted.
It's like that scene. Don't forget, you're here forever.
Yeah. And mine is just I have pictures of Heather up on mine that says "Do it for her." So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
I wonder why we have declining birth rates.
yeah, no kidding, right? So and then it's like, but that's kind of been the thing. Like there was a period of time when I was working for UVic, that when I stopped working for UVic, when my contract expired, there was about a year where I wasn't, but I was just doing work for LoadingReadyRun,
Yeah.
and that was enough to carry us through month to month. But it was like, this is not going to be a sustainable path. I have to either find a job or not. And when I finally said, I'm going to not find a job anymore, Graham, what do you think? And then he offered me this job full time. It was like, okay, we have come out of the financial uncertainty thing. So I used to do other things outside of LRR, like IT work at UVic. I don't do that anymore. Now I do this.
Now you're the office manager.
Yeah, and that transition's weird because you get really scared. You're like, is this actually? This is I'm the business manager, not the office manager. I want to
Okay.
be fair, but it's the kind of thing that it's scary because you are quitting something that is kind of certain.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, a university, having a job where you get a salary, you're part of a union, like all those things, it's very certain, and you're going to work for a new media company that it basically sinks or swims on the quality of the stuff they make and on the generosity of the people who support them. That's
Shout out to you viewers of
Yeah.
this video right now.
That's tough. That can be some stress.
Yeah.
That's me. What about you guys?
Matt.
I, before getting this job, worked at an old folks' home, giving them food and cleaning up after giving them food.
So how's that different from now?
Cleaning up our messes.
Yeah.
Feeding us.
Yeah. Well, I don't bring pies as often anymore.
Yeah.
No.
And that is actually how I transitioned into working with LRR, is I literally buttered everyone up.
You just fed us until we said okay.
Yeah.
Bars and bars of butter.
The 1 week you didn't show up, everyone was like, "Where's Matt?
Yeah.
Where's our food?"
He's here every week. Where the hell is he?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, this is my job. I have one or two small video editing things on the side. For example, I did the video for Alex for his recent Kickstarter.
Right. Okay.
And I do those on the side, but this is my primary job. And I'd say the amount of money I make between the two jobs is roughly the same.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
I would also add though that you didn't just like, hey, I am with my feeding old folks skills. Hire me to be a video editor.
Yeah.
You were like, how would I actually do the work of being a video editor? Okay, I'll go off and I'll learn how to do that and come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A light dusting of that, yes.
Yeah, that does help actually having the real skill, because we don't just train everybody on how to do everything around here, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But we do learn a lot on the job here as well.
Absolutely we do.
What about you, Adam?
Can I see the question again, just so I can parse it? Sorry. Yeah, my involvement with Lure over time was like a very gradual thing. I started streaming just on Saturdays because that's how I got in. That was my foot in the door. Even though like I've been friends with them since before it started, I never really had the desire to like be in Lure videos or anything. I was
To be
just like,
acting.
yeah, I was
you
like,
did that one Hustle, I think, that one time.
Yeah, we did Hustle. I was a spot guest in Hustle, and then I was in that Friday nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I've been in bit parts. Like I was in that. What's that video?
We've done so many.
Eyewitness accounts.
Okay.
I think that was the one I was in.
I can't confirm that.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'd been in bits and pieces, and then I've been working at long story short, I've been working at a job for like 17 years, and I was miserable, and I was like, I got to get out of here. They're treating me like garbage.
Oh, same hat.
Yeah. And
Same hat,
So
yeah.
I was like, and Graham was like, well, we can offer you like some like part-time contractor work. And I was like, done. So I quit. I just quit my job. And then I wasn't even like I had been streaming a little bit from home, but I hadn't really taken it that seriously. And I started streaming from home on our like a regular schedule. And then I got Twitch partner, and then I'm still doing that to this day, and then doing the Lure stuff. It's always, as far as like, is there a period of massive financial uncertainty? That's just always,
Yeah.
I think, just because of the nature. I mean, it's thank God for Lure, I'm on like a contract now, so it's like,
Yeah.
I have like a steady, at least part of it is steady, but like the Twitch stuff is just like, I never know.
You are a hired employee.
Yes.
Yeah, you're permanent part-time, just like you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. My livelihood is like, I would say 60% of it is my income from Lure, and then the others, whatever I do on my own, kind of thing. So.
It's never enough, though.
No,
it's not.
no, it never feels like it's enough.
The cost of living in Victoria, specifically for accommodations, is
Ridiculous.
particularly high.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we get overflow from Vancouver.
Yeah. Everybody who sells all their really expensive condos in Vancouver are like, great, now I have money to spend in Victoria.
Yeah.
I'll drive up the housing prices here, too. Thanks.
And then the people in Victoria are like, great, I can go to Nanaimo.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to Nanaimo.
Well, yeah, I guess the great was a bit
Nanaimo sucks.
there.
What's
You
our,
heard me.
What's our next question?
Anybody here watching from Nanaimo?
Harold Price asks, what is the best part of being a part of Loading Ready Run?
The friendships we forged along the way.
Oh, I
It's
can't
actually
believe you
a
said
good
that.
question. What is the best part about working here?
I like the internet fame.
At least you're honest.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Yeah, dig it.
Like, to be fair,
Yeah.
Ian and Corey went to Desert Bus 4.
Yeah.
And got to have fun doing. And I'd done like a little bit of work with Graham. Like Graham had come be on our stage when we were doing Snap to Chaos Theater.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool. And then Ian and Corey went to go do Desert Bus and stuff. And we had these barbecues in Calgary, hosted at Dan Ross's place. Dan and Manny Ross would have barbecues for SCT and for Loading Ready Run. Dan was a member. Dan and Manny were member. Anyway, but that was about the extent of my involvement with it. And when Desert Bus 5 rolled around, I was, after seeing Ian and Corey on Desert Bus 4, I'm like, you mean I could have just gone and been a part of this fun thing that was like, get my face out in front of a bunch of people and perform and also be doing a good thing at the same time? And I'm like, yeah, I am all about, like, if I can perform for more people, I want to do that. And so when I did Desert Bus 5 and then came back from that, I said to Heather, I'm like, we have to move to Victoria. There's this great stuff that's going on there, and Loading Ready Run is like awesome, and I have no idea if they need more people or not, but if there's an opportunity for me to be doing something fun out there, and then also if the improv troupe is doing more stuff on the West Coast, then that's great. And so for me, it was like, the internet fame. You know, I get to be in front of more people and performing, and that's what I wanted to do, was to do that kind of thing. Now I have a back office job, but it's like then I get to do the performing when I want to.
Yeah.
You want to blow up and then act like you don't know nobody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My main goal. I think I enjoy working the variety of people that I can work with one-on-one. I feel like I don't do well in like a group setting, and I'm better if I'm just working with like the Sidewalk Slam, or doing Let's Know with Ben, or doing the Fighting Fantasy books with Paul. It's like I feel my strength as like a on-camera personality is way better when I'm working with like one person.
You can really zero in on the strengths of the
situation. Hyper-focused. I'm a way better. I'm a bad multitasker. Like I get either too confused or too discombobulated when there's like too much going on. I need to like.
You just get white noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically. But yeah, I enjoy the variety of people that I get to work with. That's probably my favorite thing.
Nice.
It's kind of something different. It's lucky. I keep thinking about this, is that it's a miracle that this works. Right?
Yeah.
Like every time I think about it, I'm like, this shouldn't work. 12 friends, honest to God friends, running a business together and making money and a living off of it.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That never works. You hear about all the time people talking about like, my coworkers suck, I hate them all. And it's like, I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to say to you, because I like everybody that I work with. Like I don't understand how this works. And we never, like, sure, we have disagreements sometimes and stuff, but people never fight. I've never fought with anybody in this office.
Yeah.
Never have I seen people having an argument, other than it's dealt with like in a professional manner, which I would hope too, but it's just mind blowing to me that this works.
Yeah.
Shouldn't work.
I'm with you there.
Everyone says that communism doesn't work in real life, but it works here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're given money from a centrally managed authority, i.e. our fans.
Yeah.
Very centralized. Yeah.
Hey, there they are. There's some of you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate, considering I came off of a job where I was running ragged off of my feet, like every hour that I was there.
Yeah.
Because it was a food service job. This job allows you to portion out your work to, I guess, what you're up to in a way.
Like you're comfortable for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, we can go for shoots and hustle and make it happen. And then that's half a day, and you come back and you sit down and, for me, edit or something like that. And that allows me to modulate my day so that I'm not going home and just flopping onto the bed, right?
Yeah.
I don't have that knot in the middle of my back that I have to like stretch out at night anymore.
The one thing that, though, when you mentioned going home, the one thing that got me is I'm like, right. And because Heather and I, though, both work here, and we both work here in essentially managerial capacities, when we go home, we talk about work. And that's maybe the worst thing, is that it's like, it's so hard to, because I have the energy to be able to do that, that then that's what we end up doing. And I'm just like, oh God, no, we need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why they say not to work with your spouse.
I've never worked with somebody that
Been dating?
Dating or romantically involved with. Or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Just-
I did it briefly once.
That's got to be a lot, right?
Yeah,
You find it hard to balance?
It's, I mean, Heather and I kind of, like, we even work in the same room, and yet we still find, like, our schedules miss each other,
Yeah.
which helps a lot. That it's
Yeah.
like we see each other at some times, but then we also miss each other at times, and it's like, that's okay. So, but yeah.
Beej, you didn't say what your favorite part about working here was. And if you don't say your wife, then she's going to get mad.
Yeah, it's true, right? She probably won't care. She think I'm full of shit anyway.
She's the one editing this.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, actually, yeah, getting to work with Heather is like actually being able to do that is great. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, my favorite part of doing the job with Loading Ready Run was getting out in front of people and acting and performing.
Oh, you did
and
say
entertaining people,
internet
yeah.
fame.
Yeah,
I'm
the
an
internet
idiot.
fame.
Yeah, you did say.
The adulation feels great because it's like being a stage actor. Because I guess I am. Having that immediacy. I love doing improv in front of a crowd. I don't like doing it as much in front of a camera. And it's just so nice to have like all this feedback from people, like having chat, like enjoy a thing, or having people watch and laugh. It's just like, that's so great.
Immediate feedback is,
Paramount.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild to think
And
about.
addictive.
Yeah. All right, next question. B, just the business manager. Are you planning to take a forward-facing front on the state of LRR, or do you leave it to Graham from you, Yabby? So the thing is, okay, so the structure of Loading Ready Run is that Graham and Paul are co-presidents. They are equal owners of this incorporated entity.
Yeah.
And when we were hiring me on, and I said, I think what would help is actually a full-on business manager to take care of a lot of administrative stuff, to take care of the merch stuff, to do those kind of things, and kind of handle a lot of those things that are just like kind of a drain on having to be creative. The way we negotiated that is that I'm not like the Robert Koo, like Robert Koo was at Penny Arcade, where he was actually the president and the other two guys were like, you know, like they didn't work for Robert, but it was like they kind of deferred to a lot of what he was doing, but I think they still had final say. That's not my job here. My job is to work underneath them. It's to take direction from both Graham and Paul, and it's to also, though, bring stuff to the table. It's to argue my opinion on things, but then also I understand that I don't have a level of power where I just get to say no to something. I can be really adamant about stuff, but I don't get to say no to Graham and Paul in a way that would stop them from doing anything. They have to come around to my way of thinking if I wanted something to be a certain way. And we get along well enough that I think we are following a similar path with the things that we want to do. But yeah, when I get into Brendan mode, where I'm being very business managery, it's very different than me being on camera because it's like I am trying to think responsibly. I'm trying to attack a problem from a point of view of what makes better sense for the health of the business, and I get to be that bean counter guy.
I didn't know that Beej had modes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
This man has modes.
I mean, most people do.
You have different masks you wear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the business manager mask is different. And it's not. I'm not an asshole. I'm just. I'm thinking
Just
about
an adult.
things. Yeah.
Just a normal human being.
I'm a 40-year-old man that's trying to keep this whole thing running, as well as the people who are also here trying to keep the thing running as well. You know.
It's a group effort.
Absolutely. VT Merrick asks, for the future of Corp Line, have there been ideas about adding other members of the Lurk crew to the cast, either as one-off characters or new series regulars? So I picked this because it's a Corp Line question, and I like to talk about Corp Line. We don't want to add anybody more than the 5 that we have. That's not to say it would maybe never happen in the future, but the chances of that are minuscule. Like, they're nearly nil, and that's just because getting 5 people in a room to record Corp Line is very difficult.
Adult scheduling.
It is.
That's the
It's
main
kind of
problem.
like
We have so much to do.
trying to get a group together to play D&D, right?
Yeah, it is. And so we were like, we've got these 5 people. We know we work together very well. We know the project works for the 5 of us. We are not interested in expanding that out to try to involve more people in other ways. And I think also it speaks to the level of creativity we have in trying to represent different people, different voices, just with the 5 of us. And that's fun in itself. I mean, I've had I've had times when I've had to interview myself in Corp line, which has been really cool. But yeah, we're not adding new people. And
stop asking.
yeah, essentially, that's kind of it, though. It seems like we're not adding new people. Please stop asking. Like, either it'll happen some point or it won't, but it's probably not going to happen.
As with anything Loading Ready Run related, if it does happen, it's going to happen naturally and not for, like, nobody's ever going to be like, I want to be a part. Like, I'm not going to march in there and be like, I want to be a part of this thing. There might be like hypothetical situations that someone will get added the typical lure way, whereas we need someone to do this thing or someone will fill in or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's never like, I want to do this thing or something.
Yeah, exactly. Know? I mean, I encourage everyone in the moon base to at least say, hey, I want to do a thing. Yeah. And then be prepared to hear the word no.
No. Yeah.
But
no.
Yeah. You know,
that's why I don't ask anything. That way I can never be rejected.
Yeah. Galaxy play. Yeah.
Smart, right? Yeah.
All right. Daniel Hurras asks Adam, what is the most cowardly food to eat?
Crumble.
I mean, I am a coward, so.
I had to do it, sorry, man. Most cowardly food to eat?
You picked this question to be asked.
I don't even know why.
It can't be anything with bones, because bones are a risk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right? That's really smart. Nothing I can choke on. Right. The most cowardly food is probably like porridge.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
and not even Jell-O. Like porridge is really the most cowardly. Well, no, because you could get porridge like stuck in your throat, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It comes up. Maybe Jell-O is the most cowardly
Tic Tacs?
No, you could choke on a Tic Tac.
I think seedless grapes
is a coward's food. Yeah, why?
Because you can get seeded grapes.
Yeah.
And you get the seedless ones because you are a coward. You don't have the option of...
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good point.
You don't have the option of seeded oatmeal.
I like that very much.
Way.
Okay. Yeah. Seedless Jell-O.
Seedless Jell-O. Seedless porridge.
Jell-O.
Seedless porridge.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, seedless grapes. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Haseo Sora asks, Beej, have you given any thought to going to another Magic Fest? Could you please come to Magic Fest Reno? We have a second question, actually, that's much like this one. It is from Christian Kavanagh saying, will you be coming back to PAX Australia next year or ever?
I want to go to Australia.
Everybody, I think, wants to make a trip at some point.
Yeah.
So, okay, regards PAX Australia, we are sponsored to go to events generally. PAX Australia sponsors us around every 2 years. That's not a set certain. So that means we did 2018. We missed 2019. We'll probably be back there in 2020. But notice I said probably because things can always change and we don't know what's going to happen as a result.
Yeah.
And so then coming to Magic Fest Reno, as Haseo Sora asked, going to Magic Fests and Command Fests and all those kind of things, those are also events that are sponsored by the people who run them. Because we can't afford to fly and accommodate the groups of people that we send out to go to things, so we rely upon the events to say, you would be a great guest, you'd be a great attraction, we'd love you to have some people come out, so we will back you to a certain amount so you can make this trip. So anytime we're going to go to an event, there's two things we have to worry about. One, are we being sponsored by someone to do it? Where it's going to cover almost all of our expenses. And two, do we actually have the time in people's schedule to send them to go do things? Because when you send somebody to an event and they have to give up a weekend of doing something, if that's something that they need to get done, then you lose them for 5 days. You don't lose them for the 2 days of the event. You lose them for 5 days because of the getting out there and doing the things and then coming back. Like, that's just kind of how that is.
Yeah.
That being said, and this is probably going to be like, we're going to have to add this to a FAQ. If you want us to come to an event, contact the event organizers and push for us. If you know multiple people who would like us that all go to the same event together, coordinate a campaign to tell them that you want them to bring us. Let them approach us with some way of some way of sponsoring us as guests, and then we probably stand a better chance of coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, people ask these questions, why don't you come to local event? And I mean, you could turn the question easily, like, why don't you come to the event that is local to us? And it's probably the cost of time for you as an event goer, and also just the cost as an event goer.
Yeah. If you had
Same applies to us.
Yeah, if you live in Minnesota and you're like, well, I would have to go to PAX West in Seattle to see you guys. It's like, I got to fly out there and I got to put up accommodations and whatnot, and it's kind of like, that is hard.
It does cost money.
Yeah. But we want to come out and visit people in different places. It's fun to see different places.
Yeah.
Just ask the people who are backing the thing in your area.
Different people, different places. It's always a good experience.
Yep. Farley Flavors asks, as an introverted person, I would like to ask what you do to create and maintain your on-screen personalities.
I mean, what you see is what you get.
I'm still developing mine.
I don't know. I think like I'm maybe a little bit quieter and more subdued, like off camera, but it's still just me.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a person. It's not like something I have to maintain. Right.
I mean, I would definitely agree that when I see you off camera, you are more subdued than you are on camera.
Yeah.
You're a chill dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You
I don't
just
know,
have that kind of aura of like, we're going to have quiet time now. It's nap time for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Settle down.
But I don't think I just don't like the idea of like maintaining this personality, right?
Yeah.
That seems tiring to me. It's just like I never really want to like.
That is a choice you kind of have to make
Yeah.
as a performer is how much energy do you want to put into your public persona? And if you do have this on-off, like you're on stage, you're off stage kind of thing, a stark difference, then you can probably maintain a stronger, different personality for longer because you go home after work.
Yeah.
Our work doesn't necessarily have those strict boundaries in the same way.
I mean, anytime you go to work, you're like, because if you're on Twitter or you're doing something else like that, if you're interacting with people who are fans, then
Yeah.
you're going to be a certain way. I also have that feeling where I'm like, I don't feel like I'm that much different when I'm just hanging out and not being a business manager. When I'm on screen and I'm acting or I'm doing whatever, it's like that the dial gets turned up a bit.
Yeah, but that's just the nature of the business, right? Like
Yeah.
I understand, like it's me and it's cranked up, like 10, 11 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or generally whatever, but I still act that way even off camera sometimes. Like it's not like I'm like that all the time, right?
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
just be exhausting. But
Yeah.
it's just like that is still just me, right? Like I'm not maintaining.
It's not invented. It's genuine.
It's genuine. Yeah.
I guess. Well, okay. So when I used to be on stage,
Yeah.
You're off stage and you're like, we got a show to do. Okay, I got a show to do. Prep. So I make sure I have all my stuff in order, know the things that I want to say when I get out there, and then I get out there and we're here, and I kind of get excited, and because you got to hype the crowd so the crowd gets into the whole thing.
Yeah.
You do your whole show, and then when you're done, it definitely feels like I need a few minutes to come down from this to kind of like, because I just spent an hour and a half just kind of balls to the wall trying to entertain people.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes you come out of a thing, you're like, all I want to do right now is just sit for 10 minutes and, eat my sandwich or whatever, and then I can go about the rest of doing what it is that I'm doing.
Work off the adrenaline.
Kind of, yeah. And that's true with a lot of performers, is that when they are done doing the thing that they're doing, where they're in front of you for a certain amount of time and they're doing work, the work is over and it's like, I need a minute. That's why, like, if you were going backstage, I went backstage at a Weird Al show when I was like 14 years old, and when he came off stage, we got to go backstage, but we didn't see him for about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, it's because it's like he came off stage, he gets to come down, he gets to go change clothes and have a shower and kind of just, and have something to eat maybe, and be like, okay, time to go meet everybody. And then he goes and he meets everybody, and when he came backstage, he was like, he had the flu.
Oh,
he performed the
no.
entire night with the flu. And he came backstage, and he came to where we were, and he was in like black hoodie and black whatever, and he just kind of came in and he was like, hey everybody, and we're like, hey Al, because we knew he had the flu, and he sat down, he signed stuff, and he was very nice, but he was also kind of quiet, and he's just like, he just came off of a concert.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of same thing. It's like when you come off of doing something, sometimes you're just like, how do I maintain this? I know that when I'm done, I have a respite.
Yeah.
A strong kind of just sphere of that energy and that concept is the entirety of Desert Bus, where you have the on-camera stuff happening, and then people shift off the shifts or go have a break or something in the back, and a lot of the break time in the back is sitting quietly
Yeah.
and doing nothing
Yeah.
and eating and drinking, some food and water.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you need to keep the machine going.
Because you basically need people to leave it all on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not going to go back and start being rowdy and stuff. I'm just going to, if I'm going to be rowdy, I'm going to be on stage and be rowdy, and then I'm going to come off not, because it's like, why would I start performing when I'm off stage?
Yeah.
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 Anyway, any more questions? Drummy asks, what is your favorite dish to cook for someone you haven't cooked for before?
I mean, I have an answer.
Yeah.
Great.
For friends that I bring over to my house to have chill friend hangout time, a good grilled cheese.
Really?
You know?
Damn.
It's hearty, it's enjoyable, it's comfortable, it's safe.
That's kind of amazing, actually. That's like, you don't put on any airs and like, I'm going to make you a roast chicken.
It's just like, no, just a
Which is easy.
grilled
but-
cheese.
Do I seem like a presumptuous person?
If you're
to
going to
you?
have people over to your house, generally it's because you're scheduling like a dinner party or like a fancy, not a fancy lunch, but like, I'm making an event out of this that I'm going to cook for somebody. So I want to do something that's maybe a little something that's like nice, but doesn't have to be fancy, but it just has to be something that's kind of like, look, I made an effort.
You think I schedule events?
I assume. I don't know what it's like. Like,
I don't know.
There's kind of this little joke in the queer community that gay men don't plan ahead. They don't schedule things.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that a couple drag queens online have said, is that, like, a lot of ardent fans of them are gay men
Sure.
or queer men.
yeah.
But you can't rely on them. They are unreliable. They are flaky. If you have an event coming up and you're selling tickets to it,
Yeah.
they'll show up, but they won't plan weeks in advance. They'll buy the tickets night of.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's good. What a sucky way to make a living then.
I mean, you have all the other fans as well.
I was also not aware that this was a long-standing stereotype
know
of gay
either.
men,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
That
learning
it's-
so much
It's a
today,
little
yeah.
bit of a joke, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just most men in general are like that.
Yeah, fair.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not planners. Like, I'm just thinking about it because, like, my girlfriend, big time planner,
Yeah.
loves planning.
My wife,
Needs-
big-time planner.
dude. Me, nope, I am not a planner. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. She's like, what are you doing like 3 weekends from now? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, she's like, got a plan. She got a thing, and I'm just like, no, I'm not a planner. Dude.
I mean, when we were moving to this new condo, I definitely was like, okay, I see how everything has to get done. I know I'm working backwards from when we have to go. Like, I'm doing all this stuff, and Heather's just like, whatever, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, no, but we need to. What box are these things on your dresser going into? Where are you putting this stuff? What are you doing with this? She's like, I don't know. Why don't we just start packing it, right? But at work or in other things, she's like, I have a list, I have a calendar, I have all these things. I'm like, okay, whatever. I think we complement each other pretty well. That we are planners in different aspects of our lives.
Yeah.
What was the question again? Damn.
what was your favorite meal
The
to
food.
cook? The
Right.
food.
Yeah.
I'm not a cooker. So I don't even know. Like, I don't really cook that much.
You're
Like,
not a gourmet
I mean,
chef?
like when I eat, it's always just like, because like when I was like working out super hard, it was always just like chicken breast and like some broccoli.
Right.
Like, it was like very like,
Protein heavy fuel.
yeah, it was like
Clean
never
food.
anything. I'm not super creative, but I've never been like, I don't want to say like lazy, but just like, I'm okay with kind of whatever.
Food
Like,
you make at home is fuel for the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're spontaneous about your food.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I would say that mine is actually. Now that I'm thinking about this, I would make tacos
Oh yeah.
because I have a taco mix that I like to make that nobody likes,
Oh no!
and that's why I would make it, is to see everyone's reaction.
Is this a litmus
What
test
flavor-
for
yeah,
friends?
this is like, I'm never coming over for tacos.
Yeah. So
Like, if you can't handle this, you can't handle the rest of me, kind of thing.
essentially, it's
You
kind
can't
of like I
handle
just
me at
want to
my worst. You can't handle me at my.
Ian always looked
Tacos.
at me, and I know how Ian is my best friend, and I also know how Ian is, and if you watch Road Quest, you know how Ian is as well, because that's not that much of an act. But I really need to be fair. He's my best friend. But yeah, we lived together for 9 months, and he always cast an askew eye at my tacos because he's just like, okay, for one thing, so it's
What is it?
They're
Now I wanna
burritos.
know.
They're
Okay.
burritos essentially, but I would say let's have tacos tonight. It's always the same thing. It's just a big, I'll make you with a big flour tortilla. But anyway, the taco mix itself is ground beef, which is very normal.
Yeah, that's
right.
normal.
Normal, like that kind of thing.
Checks.
Usually I'll dice up or it's usually like dice up or rough chop onions.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
just even
Normal.
do half moons. And
I'm waiting for you to like just hit me with
I fry those up separately. If I feel like it, maybe mushrooms, but usually I don't have mushrooms. And then I mix all that stuff together. And so then while it's cooking, it's like, okay, so now I take salsa, that's been made at the store, right? Medium heat
Store-bought.
salsa, right?
Yeah.
Store-bought salsa, which is a great way to just add that. So I add that in. I started adding cumin recently, but it's never been a part of the recipe.
Okay.
Mix that and cook, and then I go get a can of brown beans and maple syrup, and I dump that all inside the beef, and then I
Okay.
mix that together, and then that is my taco mix. That then I will put like cheddar cheese or lettuce or tomatoes or like other things inside the thing with.
Maple
good.
syrup?
That sounds delicious.
See?
That's the one question I
See?
have.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
It's fucking delicious. Let me
Sounds
tell
delicious.
you, it's so.
I thought you were gonna be like, I grabbed when you said can, I was like, I grabbed the can of Coke and then I pour it in. I'm like, okay, there's the weird thing that I was waiting for.
I grab a can of dog food. And
That sounds delicious.
It is.
I'm coming over for tacos.
It's
baby.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's it's because I like sweet and spicy together.
Okay.
So that's why the maple syrup. And I tried it with you do like the pork and beans thing, and I was like, I never liked that. I have also on occasion just taken the maple syrup beans, dump them into a separate pan, get them hot, mash them up, and then add some smoky barbecue sauce to them, and just serve that as an extra thing on the side.
Okay.
And I think that's fine too.
Yeah, it sounds great.
But some people have looked at that and been like, why would you want to put something sweet inside your tacos? And I'm like, because it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I've always been partial to canned beans because my dad used to be a diamond driller.
Okay.
So he was used to camp food.
Ah.
And the food he was allowed to cook at home, otherwise he would be boiling over things or just burning them because he would forget that they're on.
Right.
Is like beans.
Okay.
Or just like a plate of stuff, which is just like cheese and other things that we're working through because mom's not home and we need to rotate the stock kind of thing.
Yeah.
Crackers.
I've heard people refer to that as hash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you just grab whatever you've got in the fridge and put it together.
Yeah.
So I guess for me, like a can of beans is a nostalgic food.
Fair.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Good one to have, I guess.
Okay. That's that. Oh, and okay. A question for Matt. Isaac Dymock asks you, how did you come to know the Lure crowd and what happened to have you join their ranks?
I discovered LRR on The Escapist, and they really grabbed me because I saw the odd video here and there. They really grabbed me with the start of Feed Dump.
Okay.
That was the thing that hooked me into following the crew. And I was on The Escapist watching stuff. There were a couple of years where Desert Bus came up and they had the announcement at the top of the screen. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Desert Bus is going on. You should check it out. 2 years of that happened where I was like, I'm not interested. The third year I watched it. I think this was Desert Bus 6.
It was a good desert bus.
And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I'm going to keep following this thing when it goes on. It seems like a fun time. I moved to Victoria and emailed Kathleen the first week that I was in Victoria to volunteer for Desert Bus 8. And I volunteered for everyone since. That's how I met the flesh people of LRR. And then I started making pies for them. Mm-hmm. And then after, I think, a year and a half of that...
And you made scones and stuff. Yeah.
Scones and stuff,
Many
too.
things.
Because you run out of pie recipes, really. And pies are actually rather expensive to make. After about a year and a half of that, I asked if I could help out with any of the editing or anything, really, around the office. And then after a year of them going, yeah, we'll look into that, they got the computer set up and all the footage imported for RoadQuest. And then I started working on that. And now we're here.
Now we're here.
That's pretty much the quick and dirty overview of my involvement.
We'd like to add that that is not a normal thing, that do not expect to do that yourself.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, here's the thing.
Unless your pie is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I showed a lot of patience and respect, and at any point, I would have accepted a no. It just so happens that when I did all those things, I got a yes. But you have to approach these situations being willing to accept a no. Right?
It's just good life advice.
Yeah.
Like, I could have not been invited back to Desert Bus, and then I probably wouldn't be here. It's just kind of a chain of yeses, right?
Yeah. That's kind of how things work out in life, is through a chain of yeses.
Sometimes the nicest stuff happens that way.
Last question. Daniel Newhall asks, or says, "Hi, friends," and then asks, "What do each of you do to relax at the end of a long day?" And we're really close to the end of this podcast, so let's make them like fast answers.
Yeah. You guys go?
I play video games.
Oh, good.
You do your job?
Yeah. Well, that's not my job. It's not really like...
It's kind of half of your job.
the video game isn't the job, though.
Is it like the game for
The
yourself?
video game is never the job. Yeah. Well, I mean, like the game's usually for myself. So like I'm good at separating. Like I won't ever... There's games that I play that I don't stream, or I never will stream, just because like...
Makes sense.
Keep it to yourself. But I mean, the game isn't the job, right?
Yeah.
The stream is the job.
Yeah.
That's the work, and that's interacting with people and being a person. Like playing the game isn't the work.
Yeah.
That's the way I've always approached it. People are like, well, you just turn your hobby into a job. It's like, well, that's not the job, though.
No.
It's like, playing the video game is not it's a part of it, but not the job.
Yeah.
The job is interacting with people and having a person, or just like for whatever reason having a personality that people can relate to.
Yeah.
You know.
That like to see do those things.
Yeah.
I like to, I go home, I catch up on whatever anime or TV that I haven't watched yet, eat dinner, and drink tea, and it's nice.
Tea is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch jog videos on the internet.
Oh, that's good. All right, I post memes. I spread memes around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I infect his Discord full of memes.
Beej got asked to stop.
And he won't.
Yeah, but I said no. Beej, do what you want.
Yeah. You're free, man.
Yeah, Beej.
Dog videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean, memes is the first thing I think of when I look at Beej.
I mean, I also spread
that's
memes,
like
too.
your like your thing, right? You just find them, and you're a collector of knowledge. You're like the dude from the Marvel movies, the Watcher.
The Watcher,
You're
yeah.
the Watcher, but you're like, oh, here's some memes I found. You're spacing them out. Like,
Here's this thing. Here's this
come
thing.
closer, children. Here, have a meme.
Yeah,
you
this
know?
thing about the flight attendant and the dad who wishes their kid was a doctor or something.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
here's
yeah.
a new thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Beej is like, I saw that meme like 6 months ago. It's like, that's old news.
I mean, I didn't, but specifically, but yeah. That seems great. That's
cool.
That brings us to the end of askLR. Again, I want to thank everybody who back us on Twitch, and of course the people who back us on Patreon as well. Again, change your make sure your addresses are up to date on Patreon to get the $10 tier or above. Thank you, Mailload, but also a big thank you to everybody who backs us by having a membership on YouTube, because those people get to ask us these questions. And you can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/LoadingReadyRun, and I believe there's a join button on there. It'll cost you whatever it costs you a month to sign up for that. But from Matt and Adam and myself, thank you so much. Have a good night.
Bye. Bye.